Hello, hello. This is Yuri of Let's Talk Moving Podcast. And with me today, I have John Hamilton, the owner of Brooks Moving and Hauling, co-owner of Tighten Up Training. John spent 13 years in the military and was part of the special operations community in which he has taken those skills and applied them to not only build an amazing company culture, but culture that has spread throughout this community. So first of all, John, I want to thank you once again for joining the podcast. And once again, of course, thank you for your service.
Absolutely, Yuri. I appreciate you having me on, and I'm excited to share everything we got going on.
Sure, sure. It is exciting. There is a lot going on, and obviously we're dealing with the year that we're dealing with. That's not fun for anybody. So of course, I think we all have plans going forward that hopefully are going to put us in good position once this thing rebounds. We know it's going to happen. We know business is cyclical, so we got to be ready when it does. So, John, with long career in the military, what has brought you to the moving industry?
Oh man, this is always a difficult one to answer. So I spent a lot of time in the military, really focusing my sights on real estate. I wanted to have passive income. So as I was moving around from place to place, I bought some investment properties and I got into that business. Long story short, I ended up getting my real estate license. I guess right around the time I was getting out, it was like 2020, 2019, something like
Mhm.
that. And I thought it would be a great vertical to add to the business, would be moving. So I acquired a small moving company that was down here in Jupiter, Florida, and the guy had done a great job. He was just kind of the community guy, great reputation. Really, I love his morals and values that he withheld, and so I acquired the company. And long story short, I'd say the transition from military to the business world was a shock, but I was able to apply a lot of the skills from the military to business, which a lot of people don't realize. But the background of the military is really structured like a business. So your hierarchy from start to finish, I thought it was be a good fit for me, and sent me off to the races.
Well, you certainly did it the smart way because I know a lot of guys, and I've certainly met a lot of guys that were military over the years that frankly spent money left and right. They got, nice motorcycles and nice cars and this and that versus investing and thinking for the future, thinking ahead of when they're going to be out. So the fact alone that you were investing in different properties, over different areas where you were stationed, that right there just shows completely different mindset towards the future. So that's definitely a business mindset thinking ahead. So that's
Yeah,
that's a very cool thing.
I never wanted to be the guy that was, really chasing the carrot, as I always called it, for retirement. I didn't want that. I didn't want to have to be stuck in a career for 20 years. I wanted to build the life that I wanted. I wanted to be able to get out and have passive income. And I knew I always had a passion for business. So the real estate side was able to fulfill my passive income. And, I was able to exit the military, loved my career. And now I, get to fulfill my passion every day by continuing to build the business. So it's a win-win. I can't complain.
Yeah, no, does your company need more creative marketing and ad campaigns to improve traffic and organic leads? Well, Moving Sales Professionals has a solution for you. We have partnered with social media marketing agency that has over 300 million views on their ads and videos across social media. And they have generated over $35 million for their clients over the last 10 years alone. Their services include content creation, social media ads, pay-per-click campaigns, website and funnel development, Google Ads, email marketing campaigns, lead generation, and much, much more. For limited time only, they have discounted rates for their services. Sign up for a free consultation call with us via our Calendly link on our website or below this video. That's awesome. So, you and I met at a moving company event 2 years ago.
Hmm.
And you're now also a co-owner of Tighten Up Training, and you guys are doing an event in Florida in March. Obviously I've seen the advertisements and everything, and I've talked to Wade a few times about it too. And how will this event be different from other moving company events that we have been used to?
Yeah, so moving Titan Retreat is Wade Schleichel and Chad Coatney's baby,
Hmm.
and man, they've just done a really phenomenal job at bringing business to owners together and creating a community, a network for all of us to really lean on each other and thrive with together and be able to communicate our problems. And I think a lot of the other events were kind of centered on one particular person. Where the Moving Titan retreats, again, I'm not a part of that
Okay, I
business.
wasn't sure, so if you were, you weren't. You have the
Yeah,
same
no,
name, so that's why I had to ask.
yeah, we're affiliated kind of because we've got them in the, we're business owners for the Tighten Up training side of it.
Hmm.
But yeah, so the Moving Titan retreats is great. There's multiple speakers from multiple different attitudes. So you've got, mindset training, you've got sales training, you've got motivational speakers, so you really get the full gamut of the life experience, from the in sales and the mindset and the leadership and culture building and stuff like that. So it's a really different community, that's really fulfilling to be a part of because I'm able to share knowledge with people, people share knowledge with me, and we reap the benefits of the knowledge. And one of my favorite sayings is, a smart man learns from his own mistakes and a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. And
Absolutely.
so why not take knowledge that we know from other business owners that are willing to share, apply it to our businesses, and we know it's not outdated, and we all grow together and we share the victories together. And it's there's no harm, no foul. We're able to grow our business together. We're able to share referrals together, especially when you build these networks throughout the United States.
Right.
So it's really an amazing place to be, and we're looking forward to the Tighten Up training.
All right. Cool, cool, cool. So getting back to your company, so how is Brooks different from other movers? What are you doing that's different? Besides obviously having the structure that's coming in from your military background, which of course for any business having structure is extremely important. But other than that, how are you doing things differently? Looking to revolutionize your moving business? Discover Movers Dispatch Board, a nationwide load board designed by movers for movers, connecting moving companies, moving brokers, and carriers. Movers Dispatch Board's mission is to provide a powerful national network of professional and reputable companies in the moving industry who are interlining and brokering household good loads. With Movers Dispatch Board, you can post and search loads, post trucks with available cubic footage, share essential documents, and review carrier performance, all in one incredible user-friendly platform. And the best part? You can manage all of this from your phone, tablet, or computer, giving you the flexibility and control. Sign up today and revolutionize the way you interline and broker loads, expand your market reach, and never run your trucks empty. Visit us at www.moversdispatchboard.com today.
Yeah, that's a great question. I got into the industry because I had a terrible moving experience, on multiple fronts, and it was kind of one of the norms, I guess, per se, from an outsider, that moving companies are always the bad guy, right? Getting into the industry, you understand more and more about the nuances, and I think really it's about understanding and explaining yourself to the customer so that they're in full understanding of what they're getting themselves into. So what makes us different is we're able to provide a transparent sales process to the customer. And I do have to say, it hurts us and it helps us, because a lot of times people will underbid us or underquote us. They're trying to undershoot us, knowing in the back of our mind exactly what they're doing. Oh yeah, it's going to take 3 hours. We'll send you two guys, and we're like, this is a four-guy job that's going to take 8 hours all
Yeah.
day. So we try to work with our customers. We really try to build a rapport, the relationship with them, knowing that they've got a moving consultant from start to finish. We're not there to scam them. We're completely transparent. And then at the end of the day, they're not paying $80 an hour for a guy that has never been trained professionally, that doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to pack. And at the end of the day, when you pay $1,000 less for your move, you get you reap those consequences, right? You got the unprofessional guy there breaking your stuff, or the price gouging or whatever it is. So really, the biggest thing for us is bringing that to them, explaining it, and then just performing. And then once we perform, we're able to broadcast that through all of our channels. We got raving fans and reviews, and we built a great network with real estate agents, with professional organizers, with interior designers, contracting companies. So we're multifaceted, and I really think that's what makes us different in the industry, especially the guys around us.
And now for a word from our sponsors. If you're a moving business owner, you may have already heard of Moversville, an email marketing service that helps moving companies increase, repeat, and referral business. But have you heard of Moversville Connect? Moversville Connect is an incredible resource for all things moving. They feature an array of vendors and services that cater specifically to the moving industry. You can find companies that provide moving software, moving sales services, marketing services, moving equipment providers, and much, much more. Visit moversville.com today to learn more. No, that's awesome. It's the same reason I do what I do. I don't work with anybody that's not that way. So
Hmm.
I don't like I mean, I'm there to help people with the knowledge, and I'm more than happy to provide it because at the end of the day, if my clients get to have a better business and in business longer, grow their business because of the information that I provide them, frankly, most cases free of charge,
Yeah,
because I want them to grow. I want them to get to a certain point. I want them to succeed ultimately because, I'm invested in them as much as they're invested whenever they use my salespeople, right? It's
right,
it's the same thing. So you definitely want to make sure. I think it is a lot about giving back, and it's overall the same thing that I hear from interview to interview when I'm talking to moving company owners and I'm talking to moving professionals in general, is that frankly, we all want people that don't do the good job, that don't care about the clients, that don't care about their brand, that don't care about the service that they provide and what they leave them with afterwards. We don't want them in the business ultimately. We
right,
want people that actually care about the industry, that care about the brand, that care about the people that frankly feed us, to put it in layman's terms. If we don't do a good job, we're not only is there like, I mean, you never want to be an upset person,
right,
like I never want one of my sales reps to have to call a customer and have to apologize them because they misquoted them by X amount of hours, and it's an 80-year-old lady that's just completely distraught. Who knows how she's going to react to something like that? We always try to think about that in advance. That's why I always want them to be accurate. And the same thing with you guys when you're on the day of the move. At the end of the day, you're physically there. So if shit hits the fan right there when you're there, it's like people don't have a choice at that point. So you want to make sure that they know everything. And sometimes it's okay not to book people that don't understand it. I use this analogy all the time. I've had obviously dealing with sales for many, many years at this point, 20 years in the industry, right? I hear people say, oh, yeah, two people are going to move my three-bedroom townhouse in 3 hours. I hear that all often enough too. And, I've actually asked this question probably more than once where I said, do you know Superman? you know, because realistically, and in your case, if you're using guys that are ex-military, those guys are about as close to Superman as you're gonna get, versus that some of these other moving companies that have guys that, can barely lift a piece of furniture, you
right.
know? So it's like reality is you want to do a good job. So yeah, I mean, I think it is important and across the board of people that I talk to, that's what we're hearing mainly is, the companies that care about the brand and the client and trying to build something. Yeah, so what if the price is a little higher? You get what you pay for, whether
Yeah,
it's this industry or something else.
no, absolutely. And I think a big switch over the past, I'd say 5 to 10 years in the sales process too, is that, we try to move this sales process from a transactional process to a relationship based process. And that's the way the whole world is moving right now.
Mhm. Absolutely.
And you see it all over TikTok, Instagram, social media, all these things, and there's powerful networks out there based off of the character strictly of people.
Mhm.
So it's a huge thing for people to be able to know, like, and trust you, because at the end of the day, you might have 15 people in front of you giving you a quote for something, and very likely they're going to go with the guy that might not be the cheapest, but they resonate the best. And they like that person, they trust that person, so that's the person that they're going to go with. So that's another feature that we've brought into our sales process, is that, hey, we want to ask questions, we want to know everything about them, and we want to know why they're moving. This can help me better understand your needs and your wants and your requirements, And at the end of the day, we provide a better service and a raving fan that we know is going to tell all their friends about.
Right.
So I mean, 30-40% of our business is repeat and referral customers, which is a blessing. You know, when you look at that every year and what that money ends up adding up to, man, it's a blessing.
Yeah. And it's yeah, it's this reality. It's the same thing that we're trying to do too, because I mean, I can sell any moving company, but at the end of the day, you guys are the ones that are backing up what I'm saying. And if you're
Mhm.
not backing up what I'm saying to sell you, frankly, down the road, I'm not going to work with you.
Right.
Because if I'm going to sell you and tell a client how great you are and how you're going to take care of them and how you're going to take care of their items and how, you're going to be totally transparent with them and how you're going to walk them through the whole process and you're going to make sure that there's no stone left unturned and how you're going to do it so that they walk away feeling comfortable with the amount of money that they spent, because at the end of the day when we start comparing and somebody says, oh, this company's charging me X amount of dollars less, well, who are you comparing us with?
Yes.
Are you
Yep.
comparing us with somebody that's not licensed? Are you comparing us with somebody that has all these horrible reviews? Or are you comparing us with somebody that's legit, that takes great care of their customers? Who are you comparing? Because what you're paying for quality. You're also
Mhm.
paying for peace of mind.
Right.
Peace of mind, knowing that they're not going to destroy your stuff, knowing that they're not going to hold you hostage, knowing that they're going to take care of you. But of course, all that stuff at the end of the day, it costs money. We don't work for free.
Right, right, and that's something that we always talk about. You know, it's keeping the customer aware of what it takes to train a professional crew, to have a professional staff in the office that are going to be able to answer their questions. Because two guys in a truck and that's all they got, of course they're going to be cheap. But what happens when they're busy and now you need to get a hold of them and something's broken, or they broke your $10,000 table, which
Mhm.
costs three times more than the move.
Right.
You have to be able to back yourself up. You have to be able to help them in an expedient manner and really be on top of it. And helping people understand that 99 times out of 10 will sell a job, for a customer that is true understanding of business. And there's people out there that don't understand it, never will. And like you said, the beautiful thing about business is we get to choose our customers too.
And it's okay not to book certain jobs. I always say that. Yeah, we at the end of the day, we all want to fill our calendar. Sure. That's what
Yeah.
we're trying to do. We want our guys to work. We want all this stuff to happen, right? But at the end of the day, there are customers that are just not worth booking because they're going to be a headache. They're going to
Mhm.
be somebody that's going to try not to pay for the service that they need and want and have to have. Like if you have like curio cabinets and things that are super, super fragile, they need to be packed the right way. You can't stick a piece of almost all glass except one small back piece, right? You can't stick that in the blanket. It's
Right.
not going to make it. That truck
Yep.
hits one bump, goodbye, you know?
Yep.
So, and and you got to be very clear about that. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that's kind of the same thing when I'm picky about salespeople.
Yeah.
I do not hire salespeople that come from moving companies. I'm very particular in that about that because the problem is this. You get a salesperson that worked for somebody where the owner told them, book everything that moves and we'll take care of the issue on the day of the move, right? So
Hmm.
that person is booking jobs at minimums of discounts all day long, right? But they're not a good salesman because they're
Right.
booking them and they're cheap. Try to explain the whole process to the customer. Try to quote, like, be transparent and quote them an hour more than you should quote them because you're trying to make sure you cover your butt in case something takes longer.
Yeah.
Book them for that. Book them for more money, and then hopefully it ends up being less, and the customer is going to be happy because they actually paid less for the move than they thought that they were going to pay,
Right.
right? Be that versus the other way around where you're quoting them 3 hours when the move should be quoted at six, and it may end up being six, seven, or eight if there's anything else happening on that move, right?
Right.
Because that person comes to me. Now they have to take an inventory. Now they have to provide accurate quotes. Now they have to do A, B, C, D to make sure that all the disclosures are made so that we're covering our butts if something doesn't go right on the day of the move for whatever reason. We
Hmm.
want to make sure that everything is disclosed the right way. Guess
Yep.
what? That person that's used to quoting minimums, they can't do that. They're not gonna do that. And if they do, they're not gonna feel like they're the best because they're coming in, they're thinking they're this great salesperson.
Right.
I'm sorry, but you're not because you're not telling them anything that you're not really facing adversity if you're throwing the absolute minimum at them.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, you're not building a relationship. You're not doing the
You're
right
not.
things. You're not building credibility. You're not building rapport. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. That's what's going
Right.
to keep people coming back to your company. That's what's going to keep money coming in and food on your table throughout the years to come, rather than worried about the one time deal that you get and then you get multiple bad reviews for it. So
Right.
the world is full of rookies right now in the sales space.
Absolutely.
They're trying to make a dollar, and the ones that wake up and realize that it's not transactional anymore. You're not a car salesman anymore,
Yeah,
and
that
you have to
absolutely.
treat these people with respect and do your due diligence and make sure they're taken care of. Or at the end of the day, they're never gonna come back.
Yeah.
And their next moving experience, they're gonna expect the same product, they expect the same service, and it puts a bad taste in people's mouth.
Right. And at the end of the day, cheap attracts cheap.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and the cheap is not fun. It's not fun for you guys. And if you guys have to do those type of moves day after day after day, you're going to lose them. You're going to lose good people to do these jobs. And then you're going to get these people that are going to just completely sink your moving company.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I love the sales process. I love our guys. We walk them through every step of the process. We're explaining things. We're figuring out what their pain points are. If they've had experiences in the past that we can help negate, that we can, assure them that it's not going to happen again, from the price gouging to, things. We've had so many horror stories in here in South Florida of,
Oh,
some people, particularly brokers, probably
uh-huh.
loading their trucks full of stuff.
The broker country, so the state of Florida.
Yeah, yeah.
That
And then,
that's why those right now there's all these laws in Florida that they're tightening the screws. And I think where that originally started, there was a politician that was moving over to Florida.
mhm,
I don't remember the name. I'm sorry, but there was one politician that I know had like this horrible moving experience with a broker.
yep,
And when that person got into politics in Florida versus where that person was before, they started tightening the screws on the brokers.
yep. It was Senator Cooper or Hooper.
Hmm.
Uh, and actually, I know this because I'm a member. I'm on the board of directors for the Professional Movers Association of Florida. So we actually work very closely with the state, the legislation, and the Florida Department of Agriculture right now to tighten those screws. And it's actually coming down the pipe. We wrote the paperwork and documentation to start putting these brokers at bay. And soon it's going to come down that these brokers are not going to be allowed to book jobs unless they are a licensed moving company. And
That's awesome.
it's going to be a good thing for us. It really is going to put a lot of people a lot of bad people out of business. And hopefully the good guys, pivot to where they are, actually running their own business and having a moving company and understanding the trials and tribulations rather than scraping the internet for top dollar.
Yeah, absolutely. We have salespeople from Florida that are reaching out to us all the time, and we have to turn them away because of the just overall. When you start screening them, you're like,
Yeah.
you know, that's because they're used to doing those things the other way, and it's just like, nope, we don't go like that. I mean, I value my reputation,
Yeah.
so absolutely. But man, it's awesome. It's awesome. Like from the time that we hung out before to now, like I see some serious growth in you, John, and that's awesome.
Yeah. I lost you there for a second.
I said from the time you and I originally met to now, it's only been 2 years, but I see some serious growth, and it's awesome to see.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. It's you just got to stay positive. You got to have the right mindset. You got to mentor your people. You got to build a culture that not only spreads, like you said, like I said, when you introduced me, it's not just your company, but you have to spread that culture to the community. And
Absolutely.
the guys taking that culture home, being better fathers, being better people, be husbands, wives, whatever it is. And that grows throughout the community, and people recognize that because they know where they work. They see their Instagrams, they see their Facebooks, they know what they do. And at the end of the day, our guys bring us work because they know who they are. They're good people. We're building them to be good people, and we're providing that support through and through.
100%. I think that's extremely important. Well, John, thank you so much for joining us today. And as I always say, the world moves on its own, so let the professionals move yours for you. Thank you for joining us for the podcast, and we'll talk to you soon.
Awesome, Yuri. Thank you for having me, and you guys tighten up.